Back in the, I could be totally butchering the dates. I think it was somewhere in between the somewhere in the 40s, maybe the 60s. Um, the, and this is Costa Rican history by Anthony. Um, could have there was some type of either a coup, or they were afraid of a coup, a military coup. But what I know they did was that they abolished the military. So Costa Rica, and this might be more into politics than history, but Costa Rica does not have a standing military. They don't have an army, an air force, a navy. The only thing they do have is a Coast Guard. I mean, they've got miles and miles of coastline, both Caribbean and Pacific. Um, so, so they're really, in a sense, they're kind of like a lame duck sitting out there. I mean, it's a beautiful country. It has one of the richest biodiversities in the world. Such a small country for everything they have. They have excellent economy. Well, relatively excellent economy for Costa Rica or for Central America. An excellent educational system, but they have no military, and that's a lot of times is the point of pride with the Costa Ricans. Their Air Force are the toucans. Their Navy are the tortoises or something like that. But I know that happened sometimes in the 40s to 60s range for that part of history. They claim I served one time for a stretch of time on the Caribbean coast in a city called Puerto Limon, Lemon Port, and lemon, lime, something like that. There's an island off the port, off the main city, that they claim Christopher Columbus came to and stayed for a time when he was making his rounds in the area and discovered America and stuff like that. And it could be true. I have no idea the places that Christopher Columbus visited, but that's one of their claim to fame in that area, is that Christopher Columbus stayed there. And I think they call that island either Cristobal Colon, which is Christopher Columbus, or just Colon or something like that is what they named the island in honor of him. In the past, I know there were very large indigenous populations in Costa Rica. They are much fewer now. When I lived in that same area on the Pacific coast, we would see a lot of people that were definitely not standard Costa Ricans. I am not a lot, but I am darker than most Costa Ricans. They're very fair-skinned. I believe there's lots of Spanish blood there, but relatively fair-skinned. And the indigenous population, however, is very dark. And there were still some in the outskirts of the populated areas that I would see sometimes at banks, sometimes at markets. And I know that there used to be really large indigenous populations there. I don't know exactly what happened to them, if they were pushed out or if there were reservations there. I have really no idea. I think that about sums it up for what I know of history. Oh, northwest Costa Rica used to be a part of Nicaragua, which is just north. And there was some kind of annexation or something like that happened in this last century, where they went ahead and Costa Rica was given or somehow took a large chunk, which is now northwest Costa Rica, called Guanacaste. Or the Costa Rican people they look much different, and their Spanish is much different because they used to be part of a different country. And sometime, I believe in the past centuries, when Costa Rica did expand and get that bigger part of Nicaragua. And I think that about sums up my knowledge of the history there.